I'm Michelle Sterling for Friends of Science Society. I don't know if you're aware of this, but recently a group of 300 mayors and councillors sent a very strong emotional notice to the federal government demanding a special climate plan, an elbows up climate plan. And I know that you guys elected them probably to fill potholes, to make sure that the water mains infrastructure is not breaking down, to make sure that you don't have 30% of your treated city water leaking from your water main system, and to make sure that there would be a crackdown on homelessness, on crime, that building development would be suitable for neighborhoods and according to the plans of the residents rather than the plans of Ottawa and high-density developers. I'm sure you elected them for that, but no, that's not what these 300 mayors and councillors are all about. Let me tell you what their plan includes. They want a national clean energy grid in every direction. They want the building of 2 million net zero below market homes. They want mass retrofits on buildings of all descriptions, and they want a national high-speed rail system connected to local EV buses. If you've been following the news in Edmonton, of course the EV buses are a bust. But that doesn't stop Calgary. They're going to go ahead with EV buses as well. And maybe you've seen a few buses down east. I think it was the Lion Bus Company, got a lot of government funding. Then a lot of the buses started going up in flames and now they're bankrupt. So, you know, these are not really rational proposals, are they? And are they within budgets? This is going to be a mass diversion of public funds to things that we can't afford, that are fantasy ideas. They're not what we call smart plans, you know, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. No, these are fantasy notions, but they're being promoted by 300 mayors and councillors who claim that they represent half the population of Canada. So it makes it sound like they were elected on that basis. But no, when you look at the surveys, that's not what people wanted in municipal elections. They wanted the cities to address homelessness, crime, affordability, cost of living, municipal policies and maintenance, like the pothole issue. That's what they want. That's what municipalities are for. Within the Municipal Governance Act, there's nothing about climate change. And no city in Canada can affect climate change on a global scale. It's ludicrous. So, you know, they also said to the government, we're asking the federal government to stand with us to reject fossil fuel projects that divide us and get to work on practical, popular projects that would that won't burn down our country, but build us up, Canada strong. Well, you know, what builds up a country is having revenues from external sources, like when we sell our oil to other countries, we get revenues. And you know what? We have a massive debt right now. So every project that these 300 mayors and councillors proposes is a cost to taxpayers. And yet you don't have a voice in this. These people are making these demands without your approval, without your even asking you. And behind the scenes, there are many major environmental groups, perhaps with some kind of vested interest. We don't know, but certainly they have a lot of power over these mayors and councils that you don't have, because a lot of the money that's being funneled is going through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. And for mayors and cities to access any of that money, they often have to go along with these crazy plans. So we've written a report that does an analysis of the claims of the mayors. And one of the people quoted in one of the articles is Mayor Richard Ireland of Jasper. Jasper Strong. Jasper the Bear Beer, yeah. You know, and he's talking about the tragedy of Jasper burning down. You know, he's been the mayor there for 25 years. And from 2017 onward, two fellows named Ken Hodges and Emile Baudin had traveled all over the Western Canada. They've written to Parks Canada. They told them that mega fires were imminent in these forested communities like Jasper. And they offered them plans and solutions for how to mitigate that risk. And nothing happened. So Mayor Ireland likes to blame climate change, likes to blame fossil fuels for the fire in Jasper. In fact, it was a lack of attention to the retired forester's advice that led to the catastrophic megafire. And you know what? All of Jasper would have burned up without fossil fuels, because you can't fly a chopper on wind turbines and solar panels, and you can't run a fire truck and a fire pumping hose on an electric battery, at least not for very long. So, you know, I think that these mayors and councillors should stick to their knitting, stay in their lane, fill those potholes, fix those water mains, make sure that homeless people are given some opportunity to get back on their feet, and reduce crime, refund the police instead of funding all these silly ideas. And of course, one of the people that was at this event was the author of this book, Fire Weather, The Making of a Beast. Now, it's a great book, very, very interesting, but the entire premise is wrong. He claims that, of course, wildfires, like the Beast Fire of Fort McMurray, are caused by fossil fuels and oil companies. But actually, that's not true. Not even the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change attributes human-caused anthropogenic global warming, or CO2, to wildfires. So it's something that climate activists love to do. They love to attach wildfire to global warming because it's almost like, you know, the old school Bible-thumping preachers who, you know, gave the vision of hellfire for the sin of mankind. Well, in this case, it's the sin of using fossil fuels. So really, these guys are part of a religious cult, and I don't think that they're representing the views of half the population of Canada at all. So if you want to do something about it, why don't you write your mayor and council and tell them what you think? Sounds to me like a big climate boondoggle, and it's happening without your awareness and without even consulting you. For Friends of Science Society, I'm Michelle Sterling.